no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
no agreement with the EU, but
Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. News, events and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for unbiased, in-depth and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. Now let's go through the highlights of today's reports. In Rivers State, Governor Fubara decries poor conditions of primary schools. In Lagos State, the monarch or Solo of East Solo dies at 64. In health matters, Lassa fever claims over 20 lives across 16 states. And on education, federal government says SANU and NASU will get half pay. Let's go for a short break, and when we return, we go straight to the details. Please stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back, and now we dive into the details for today. Rivers State governorship candidate of the National Rescue Movement in the 2023 general elections in Rivers State, Sobo Mabo Jack Rich, has regained freedom few days after he was whisked away by gunmen dressed in military uniform. Recall that Jack Rich was whisked away at his residence in Usokun in Degema local government area of Rivers State on Monday. When contacted, Police Public Relations Officer SP Grace Iringe Koko did not respond to calls by our correspondent. Also, efforts to reach the acting Deputy Director, Division Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Danjuma, proved abortive as he did not pick up calls put across to him. But a journalist in Rivers State, Mr. Orwell Ene, confirmed Jack Rich's release to our correspondent. Jack Rich, popularly known as Egberi Papa, was a former militant leader who embraced amnesty during the tenure of late President Omar Yar'Adua. Rivers State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara has decried the poor state of primary schools in the state, with over 70% without classroom teachers and 90% of them in a dilapidated state. Governor Fubara made this known on Wednesday in Government House when he received a delegation of the Muslim community in Rivers State on Eid al-Fitr visit led by the Vice President General of Rivers State Council of Islamic Affairs, Nasiru Awelebe Uhor. The governor noted that his administration is committed to providing services to the people, especially in the area of education, health delivery, and agriculture. He emphasized that his focus is informed by the need to build the foundation of developments, stressing that it is alarming to know that 75% of primary schools in the state have no classroom teachers, with 90% of the number dilapidated. The governor reiterated that his desire is not just to renovate the schools, but to build an enduring system that will impact generations. Reprisal clash by two rival cult groups has claimed the life of a 28-year-old Victor Namabebe along the Amarata suburb of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital. ATN gathered that the fierce rivalry, which was between the Greenlanders and the Bobos cult groups, broke out and led to the killing. A resident of the area said that the victims stormed the Amarata Ebis mechanic area with some group of boys suspected to be members of the Greenlanders against a member of Bobos who had allegedly crossed them. Contacted on the development, the spokesman of the Bayelsa Police Command, Musa Muhammad, confirmed the development and said that the corpse of the deceased has been deposited at the morgue. He said that the police personnel from the A Division mobilized to the area and found the victim, and upon examination he was found with various grievous injuries on the head. There's more news, but don't forget you can connect with us on our ATN socials and watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Moving on, the Anambra State Joint Security Force has extended its manhunt for criminals attacking security formations in the state to Abaru Forest. Tochukwu Ikenga, the public relations officer in Anambra, made the disclosure in a statement made available to journalists on Wednesday in Onitsha. According to him, the troops of the Nigerian Army and the Navy lent considerable firepower to the operations, which completely routed out the hoodlums from their hideouts in the forest. Several camps were found and destroyed during the operations, which lasted several hours. 9 improvised explosive devices, IEDs, recovered from the camps were safely defused by the police bomb squad, he said. The spokesperson said that the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, Aderemi Adeoye, commended the military for its steadfastness in supporting the fight against criminality. Adeoye thanked the Department of State Security Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and the Nigeria Immigration Service, and various vigilante groups across the state for their wonderful synergy that is yielding results. He also warned courts running amok in the states to be aware that their days are numbered, and the statement read that the security officers will not fold their hands and watch cultists destabilize the state in the name of cult rivalry, leading to fatalities. Members of the Muslim community in Abia State, led by the Abia State Muslim Council, paid traditional Salah homage to Governor Alex Oti on Wednesday at his country home in Mvosi, Isialangwa South local government area. During the visit, the council, led by the chief imam of Abia State, Sheikh Ali Ukiwo, said that the 30 days fasting period was an exercise through which Muslims sought forgiveness from Allah and to amend their ways thereafter. They thanked Allah for using the governor to institute security, peace, and good leadership in the state, and for restoring the hopes of Abia people for more than 20 years. The Muslims used the opportunity to report to Governor about the injustice done to them by a previous administration, which allegedly relocated some plots of land that were made available to the Muslim community 10 years ago as a burial ground. Sheikh Ukiwo lamented that the relocation of the lands to individuals was done without notice to them or a refund of money already paid, and committed and urged the governor to intervene on the matter. Speaking while receiving his guests, Governor Alex Oti congratulated them for successfully completing the Ramadan fast. He thanked the Muslims for their support and solidarity during the last governorship elections in the state and promised to continue to make them and the people of the state proud through quality leadership. The governor, who assured the Muslim community in the state that his government will not discriminate against them, said that he will continue to relate with them as brothers and sisters and pledged to investigate their complaints. He further described the Muslim community as an integral part of his administration. A drunk truck driver on Wednesday crashed into a bus around Castinjo Ola bus stop along the Ota-Idiroko Expressway in the Ado-Ola local government area of Ogun State, killing the bus driver and his motorboy on the spot. A spokesman for the Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency, Babatunde Akimbi, made this disclosure in a statement. The crash, which reportedly occurred around 6:45 a.m., involved a manned diesel truck with no number plates and a bus. The accident reportedly caused a traffic snarl for some hours as the crashed bus obstructed the smooth flow of traffic. According to an eyewitness account, the manned diesel truck with no plate number was driving inbound Idiroko from Ota when the driver, due to drunk driving and excessive speed, lost control and rammed into the bus driving in the opposite direction from Idiroko to Ota. The driver of the bus and the motorboy died on the spot due to the impact of the collision, while the drunk driver of the truck and his motorboy ran away. The accident victims and vehicles have been evacuated off the road to Onipanu Division Police, and while the bodies of the dead have been deposited at the General Hospital morgue, the statement partly read. Tragedy struck on Wednesday in Ondo State, headquarters of Ondo West local government area of Ondo State, when a truck crushed a motorcyclist to death. The yet-to-be-identified middle-aged motorcyclist was said to have rammed into the truck while allegedly riding his bike recklessly. The fatal accident occurred around the Oke-Igbala junction in the Odojomu axis of the town. According to an eyewitness in the area who identified himself as Lomi, the victim was traveling at high speed before he rammed into the moving truck. According to another resident who craved anonymity, "We don't know what happened to the boy when he suddenly faced the truck that was coming and the truck crushed him. After dropping the passenger, I saw the boy when he ran into the truck without anybody chasing him. I sighted the boy going towards the coming truck, but before I could call his attention to it, it was too late." The driver of the truck also saw him late because he tried to apply the brake, but it was not responding. The remains of the deceased were later taken to the mortuary, while the truck driver and his co-worker ran away after the incident. The Western Nigeria Security Network Amotekun in Ondo State has arrested about 45 suspects for allegedly kidnapping and other crimes. The Corps Commander Adetunji Adeleye, while parading the suspects yesterday, said that they committed the alleged offenses in different parts of the state. Adeleye explained that while 14 suspects were arrested for alleged kidnapping, 5 were held for burglary, 2 for violating the anti-grazing law, and 4 others for disturbing public peace. The remaining suspects were arrested for offenses including dangerous driving, stealing, and possession of stolen goods, amongst others, he noted. The commander said Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa also ordered the release of 28 of the suspects arrested for minor offenses. He added the governor released them in the spirit of the festive period, and they will be released without strict warning and not to perpetrate such acts again. The remaining suspects will, however, face the full route of the law. The paramount ruler of Isolo Kingdom, Oba Kabiru Alani Adelaja Ababiaka Adeola Olushi III, is dead. The monarch, aged 64, passed away in the early hours of Wednesday, April the 10th, 2024, a day Muslim faithful worldwide are celebrating Eid al-Fitr. Executive Chairman, Isolo Local Council Development Area, Olasoji Adebayo, announced the death in a statement he personally signed. Related to that, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has mourned the passing of the paramount ruler of Isolo Kingdom, Oba Kabiru Alani Adelaja Ababiaka Adeolu Olushi III. The governor also commiserated with the people of Isolo and the family of the Osolo of Isolo Kingdom. Oba Ababiaka Saliu, who passed away on Wednesday at the age of 64, at the Lagos State Teaching Hospital shortly after observing the Eid prayers. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Boyaga Okosile, described the passage of the Osolo of Isolo Kingdom as a great loss to the traditional institution and Lagos State as a whole. He said that the late traditional ruler during his lifetime rendered selfless service to the people of Isolo and Lagos State. The governor urged family, friends, and associates of the deceased, as well as the entire people of Isolo, whose interests the late monarch represented and worked tirelessly for during his lifetime, to work towards immortalizing him. Analysts have blamed the Kogi state government for its inability to decipher and see the climate proactive in ensuring that lives and properties of citizens are secured and protected amidst the stormy and rainy season. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network's Blowout, Ifeanyi Chukwu Ugochukwu emphasized on the need for state governors to understudy the climate conditions of their states and be proactive in measures to that regard.
Kogi state government will not exonerate herself because it is not today that before you come into governance, you must be prepared. You must know the terrain and the topography of where you want to govern. You know, it's not that I want to be governor, I want to be local government chairman, without, understanding the advantages and disadvantages and your area of strength. I mean, the area of strength of your particular locality and the areas you have comparative advantage. These are some of the things we are talking about, those so-called leaders who assume positions of authority without, studying the particular environment where they want to govern.
The analysts maintain that the efforts of the federal government of Nigeria towards climate changes and resolution has been unsubstantiated over time.
They send different delegates abroad for seminars, conferences. What were the impacts? What were the results? Zero. They are good in planning, but they don't implement. They don't have the political will. Look, see, disaster management in Nigeria is 0/100. Completely. Nigeria is faced with these natural disasters time to time. Okay? Why wait till they happen before we start running around?
Okay.
What is the role of National Emergency Management Agency?
You'll recall that no fewer than 1,000 people have been rendered homeless following a recent rainstorm in Iyara community, headquarters of Ijimu local government area of Kogi State. A former member of the House of Representatives from Kogi State, Honorable Muhammad Idris, is dead. Muhammad, the son of a former governor of Kogi State, Ibrahim Idris, represented Ankpa, Olamaboro, and Omala Federal Constituency at the lower chambers of the National Assembly. ATN gathered that he slumped and died shortly after observing Eid prayers at his residence in Abuja on Wednesday. He will be buried according to Islamic rites at Gudu Cemetery in Abuja. An analyst, Wealth Oduyemi, has commended the Katsina State Governor Diko Rada over the release of 222 inmates. Speaking on Atlantic Television's Society Watch, Oduyemi stated that the release is constitutional, adding that away from the constitutional responsibility, the move will also decongest the correctional facilities in the state.
It's a benevolence window of the governor, because there's a provision in the constitution, or a window space wherein the governor has the power, based on the advice of the most senior judicial officer of the state, based on recommendations and files, in an attempt to decongest the correctional center.
He maintained that the release of inmates is timely as an expression of love and unity.
It's just good, timely for the family that during the festive period, as it were, enjoy the part of the responsibility requirement of the governor. So it's a good one. I'm so sure that there will be jubilation with those who probably falls into that category, because if they had that money, they would probably meet those bail conditions and then they'll be released.
Recall that ahead of the Eid al-Fitr celebrations, Katsina State Governor Diko Rada has secured the release of 222 inmates detained in correctional facilities across the state. Nigerian Railway Corporation has condoled with the family of the deceased police officer attached to the Abuja-Kaduna train that died while on board. NRC assured the public that the agency had medical personnel available on all trains to provide immediate assistance in case of emergencies while on board. Last week, a police officer attached to the Abuja-Kaduna train suffered sudden medical emergency and passed away. The NRC management, in a statement in Abuja, emphasized its commitment to the safety and comfort of all passengers. The management of the NRC therefore expressed the agency's heartfelt condolence to the bereaved family of the late police inspector, Nambut Selbol. At the last count, Lassa fever has claimed many Nigerians, with over 100 cases recorded across 16 states of the country. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, between February 26th and March the 3rd, a period of 1 week, it has recorded 20 deaths and 109 cases of Lassa fever in 16 states. The NCDC described Lassa fever as an acute viral hemorrhagic excessive bleeding illness that is transmitted to humans through contact with food or household items contaminated by infected rodents or contaminated persons. Its symptoms include fever, headache, sore throat, general body weakness, cough, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle pains, chest pain, and in severe cases, unexplainable bleeding from ears, eyes, nose, mouth, and other body openings. The agency said that despite the efforts, the country continued to face new cases and fatalities. It stated that the predominant age group affected is 31 to 40, while the male to female ratio for confirmed cases is 1 to 9. The report, the Public Health Agency said that the National Lassa Fever Multi-Partner, Multi-Sectoral Incident Management System has been activated to coordinate response to or at all levels at the Emergency Operations Center, EOC. The affected states, according to the agency, include Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Benue, Ebonyi, Kogi, Kaduna, Taraba, Enugu, Delta, Jigawa, Adamawa, Anambra, Rivers, Ogun, and Oyo states. The report noted that 62% of all confirmed cases were reported from Ondo, Edo, and Bauchi states, while the remaining 38% were from the other states. The NCDC, via its official website, said that for week 9 of 2024, there was an increase in the confirmed cases from 96 in week 8. Cumulatively, the report shows that from weeks 1 to 9, Nigeria recorded 682 confirmed cases and 129 deaths with a case fatality rate, CFR, of 18.8%, which is higher than the case fatality rate for the same period in 2023 at 16.1%, says the NCDC. On March the 6th, Federal Medical Center, Jalingo, Taraba State, said no fewer than 19 persons were confirmed killed by Lassa fever between January and February this year. You are watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We go for a very short break, and when we return, we continue from where we stopped onto the details for today. Stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You're a human
on them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You're a human
on them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
so no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. Now to the rest of our stories. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has called for security consciousness and responsible celebration as the Muslim faithful mark the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Wike made the call in a statement he personally signed, congratulating the Muslim Ummah as they bid farewell to the holy month of Ramadan. Wike pointed out that the Eid al-Fitr also serves as a profound reminder of the values of compassion, generosity, and unity that lies at the heart of Islam. He said the FCT embodies diversity, tolerance, and harmony, serving as a symbol of unity for all Nigerians, adding that our strength lies in our ability to embrace differences and work together towards common goals, regardless of ethnicity, religion, or background. First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu has urged Nigerians, especially Muslim Ummah, to extend kindness to others and service to humanity beyond just the month of Ramadan. Tinubu, who gave the charge in her Eid al-Fitr celebration message on the occasion of completion of the holy month of Ramadan, also enjoined Muslims to sustain the good deeds and exhibited during the holy month. According to a statement by her senior special assistant on media, Busola Kukoyi, the First Lady described Ramadan as a period of reformation and teachings of how to live a selfless and godly life. She commended the women folks for their sacrifice of preparing meals for the family and generally taking care of the home front during the holy month of Ramadan, saying that their sacrifices will be rewarded by Almighty Allah. The First Lady charged youths to shun negative acts, channel their energies towards positivity, and joined hands with government towards achieving a greater nation. The Chairman, House of Representatives Press Corps, Comrade Grace Ike, has charged lawmakers at the national and state levels to prioritize the establishment of sexual offences courts across the country as part of measures to tackle the menace of sexual abuse in the country. Comrade Ike made the suggestions at the unveiling of the book titled Tears from the Grave in honor of late Karen Akpaga, a rape victim, on Wednesday in Abuja. She said the creation of a special court for sexual offenders across the country, modeled after the successful initiatives in Lagos and other parts of the world, will not only help to reduce incidences of rape and other sexual offenses, as well as help to bring closure to the affected families. Comrade Ike, who is a special guest at the event and also the Vice Chairman of the Correspondence Chapel of the Federal Capital Territory, chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, said the book demonstrated the collective resolve to confront and
understand. SGBV knows no boundaries. It transcends age, ethnicity, color, socioeconomic status, and geography. While the list of victims in Nigeria is extensive, many cases remain unreported due to fear of stigma and inadequate support system. Despite existing legislation imposing severe penalties for persons found guilty, prosecution rates remain low. Victims often shy away from reporting due to fear of stigma and legal process.
Ofuebu, while welcoming guests, described sexual abuse as a very serious issue that must be urgently.
And I just can't believe that justice is yet to be served. When Karen's case happened, I was shocked. And when I heard on the news, that was on the radio that morning, I said, no, never again. Karen's mom, thanks for your resilience. Not just for Karen, but for other children in Nigeria who have been victims and who probably might be victims in the future. You have stood unwavering. You have remained committed, not just because of your own loss, but because you have humanity at heart, and that's what you've been doing. When this happened, I remember we released a research, a harrowing journey, which shows the harrowing journey for survivors, for victims and their families. And that's why I asked, what character can we say the nation has? When this case happened, what I would have assumed is for the nation to stand up and say never again. Karen is a Nigerian. If she's not a Nigerian,
husband and the aunt's son. We promise that mind the nation of their king.
Mrs. Vivian Akpaga, who is still living through the pain of losing her daughter, late Karen, expressed gratitude to everyone who have continued to support her in her travail.
I believe God has been with me, because the Bible tells me nothing happens to us without Him being aware. Though at some point I find that really hard, I must say. "14 years ago, Now 17 years ago, I gave birth to a beautiful daughter. I named Ondudo. God had been good to me, so I said, God is good. Heaven happened, and he has filled my cup. After 2 boys, I had a girl, and I was truly contented. The same cup I handed over to caregivers returned to me shattered beyond repairs. We are here today to remember Karen, my friend, my confidant, my daughter. It's been 2 years of an unending storm. But I thank God because I've had friends that have held my hand through the darkness called grief.
Tears from the Grave is a book aimed at reawakening the consciousness of government at all levels and Nigerians in general to collectively fight against rape, the hydra-headed monster that is threatening the moral fabrics of our society. Betta Edu, the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, has threatened to sue British Broadcasting Corporation for alleged defamation. In a letter signed by her counsel, Chika Osolu Ojukwu, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Edu demanded $50 million compensation from the media organization. The letter addressed to BBC's Abuja and London offices claimed that the BBC had reported false information regarding the ongoing investigations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, alleging that 30 million naira was recovered from the suspended minister. A lawyer stated that the concerned publication had caused immeasurable reputational damage, psychological trauma, and anguish to Edu. It accused the BBC of breaching journalistic fairness and due process by not providing Edu with an opportunity to respond to allegations before publishing the article. Nigeria Immigration Service has ordered investigation into an alleged assault of a journalist, Shehu Falomo, and personnel of the Oyo State Road Traffic Management Agency by some immigration officers. Nigeria Immigration Service Amy Nandap gave the order in a statement by the service public relations officer Kenneth Udo on Wednesday in Abuja. Nandap said that the service would not hesitate to sanction any of its officers and men who violated the law and code of conduct, alleging that some immigration officers assaulted personnel of RTMA and one Shehu Falomo, a journalist, and also gathered that the incident report promptly forwarded from Zone F headquarters of NIS in Ibadan, Oyo State, where the incident occurred, indicated that the personnel of the OSRMTA allegedly caught a retired assistant controller of immigration. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has recalled Benylin Pediatrics syrup manufactured by Johnson & Johnson following the recent toxicity finding on the product. NAFDAC said the laboratory analysis conducted on the product showed that it contained an unacceptable high levels of diethylene glycol and was found to cause acute oral toxicity in laboratory. The agency disclosed this on its website on Wednesday. It may interest you to know that a product recall is a request to return to the maker a batch or an entire production run of a product, usually over safety concerns, design defects, or labeling errors. NAFDAC, however, implored importers, distributors, retailers, and consumers to exercise caution and vigilance within the supply chain to avoid importation, distribution, sale, and use of substandard, contaminated, regulated products. verification of assets declared by state governors and their deputies, commissioners, and other political office holders across the 36 states of the Federation may soon become a source of worry as the Code of Conduct Bureau fails to fund its state offices nationwide. The 36 state offices of the Code of Conduct Bureau are in charge of thousands of asset declaration forms and the accompanying asset ownership documents belonging to political office holders and career civil servants resident in various states. Findings by press on Wednesday revealed that the CCB headquarters in Abuja currently owes its 36 state offices running costs allowances for about 7 months. According to officials, over 1,000 political office holders and career civil servants' asset declaration forms and asset documents are handled by each of the 36 state CCB offices. Top CCB officials have spoke to the press on conditions of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak on the matter, said the development had nearly grounded the state offices' operations. The officials said that the lack of funds to run the state offices had affected their ability to do necessary follow-ups on the asset declaration forms submitted by the governors, their deputies, commissioners, state assembly lawmakers, local government chairmen, governors' aides, and career civil servants as mandated by the 1999 Constitution. The Bureau was allocated 2.6 billion naira in 2023 Appropriation Act, but in December, its acting chairman, Murtala Karikia, presented a budget proposal of 49 billion to the Joint Committee of the Senate and the House of Representatives on Ethics, Privileges, and Anti-Corruption, noting that underfunding was hampering the operations of the Bureau. He added that properly carrying out the mandate of asset administration, verification, and prosecution of cases at the tribunal, the Bureau must be better funded. The CCB got a total of 15.24 billion naira in 5 years, according to an analysis of its budget between 2020 and 2024. The Bureau got budget funding for 2.47 billion naira in 2020 and in 3.14 billion naira in 2024. On March 28, President Tinubu appointed Dr. Abdullahi Bello as the new CCB chairman, pending confirmation by the Senate. Bello succeeded Professor Isa Muhammad, who was appointed by former President Muhammadu Buhari in November 2018. According to the Constitution, the CCB is empowered to verify the assets declared by Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, their aides, and 28 new governors who were sworn in on May 29, 2023. The Bureau is also expected to vet the assets declared by other officials, including senators and the House of Representatives. The federal government says members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, will get half of their withheld salaries should President Bola Tinubu approve the payment of their salary arrears. The Minister of Education, Tahiru Mamman, revealed this on an interview on Wednesday monitored by press. The minister said that the non-academic staff members of universities were not on strike for the same period in 2022 as their academic counterparts. He stated that the government has been doing everything possible to get a relief for them. Asked what was delaying the payments to NASU and SANU members, Mamman said, "No, it has not been approved. There is a court judgment on no work, no pay. ASU getting 4 months' pay was actually a discretion and decision on the part of the president. So it doesn't automatically transfer to NASU and SANU, but the matter is under consideration. I don't think it is safe to put a time on it, but it's safer to say that we are on it and we are pushing." While speaking on the claim of discrimination by NASU and SANU, the minister said, "That cannot be right. There is no rating. There are people working in the same terrain. They are doing different things, but all working towards the same goal. Press reports that in March, SANU and NASU members embarked on a one-week warning strike to protest their withheld salaries by the federal government. The two unions criticized the federal government for paying withheld salaries to ASU while neglecting the non-academic unions. All the unions had embarked on an 8-month strike in 2022 to press home some of their demands, including a better welfare package. Press recalls that the immediate past administration of President Muhammadu Buhari subsequently invoked a no-work, no-pay policy against the unions, but President Bola Tinubu last October approved the release of 4 of the 8 months withheld salaries. SANU and NASU accused the federal government of unfair treatment and discrimination by failing to pay them for their academic counterparts. Actors Guild of Nigeria has declared today, Thursday, as no-shoot day for all Nollywood filmmakers, following the death of actor Junior Pope and 3 other crew members who died in a boat mishap on Anam River in Anambra on Wednesday. Emeka Rollas, national president of Actors Guild of Nigeria, in a statement on Thursday said that this happened while producing a movie titled The Other Side of Life, produced by Adama Luke, following the tragic incident of a boat mishap that claimed the life of Junior Pope and 3 other crew members at the waterside of River Niger, Cable Point, Asaba, on the 10th of April. All films that involve riverine areas and boat riding are hereby suspended indefinitely. No shoots on all locations nationwide on Thursday, 11th April 2024, and the film titled The Other Side of Life is suspended indefinitely. Also, no actor is allowed to work with Adama Luke as a producer till further notice, while we keep searching for the bodies of the remaining persons. May their souls rest in peace, he said. The Super Falcons have qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Nigeria beat South Africa 1-0 on aggregate to reach the Summer Olympics. Rashidat Ajibade scored from the spot in the first leg of the qualifiers in Abuja on Friday. That goal was enough for the Super Falcons to pick one of Africa's tickets for the women's football event of the Paris Olympics, as the second leg tie ended goalless in South Africa. The last time Nigeria Super Falcons reached the Olympics was 16 years ago. Both teams have played several times since their 7-1 win against South Africa in a 1995 World Cup qualifier in Johannesburg. They have met 24 times, with Nigeria winning 15. 5 ended in draws, and South Africa claiming victory 4 times. First Lady Remi Tinubu has saluted the immense contributions and achievements of the country's women's national football team, the Super Falcons, congratulating the team on ending a 16-year Olympic jinx. Tinubu praised the Falcons' perseverance and commitment that have truly paid off and brought glory to Nigeria. Ending a 16-year Olympic jinx is no small feat, and your hard work, resilience, and team spirit have inspired countless young girls across the country to pursue their dreams fearlessly, the First Lady said. Mrs. Tinubu expressed immense pride in the Falcons' accomplishments, declaring, "I am so proud of all your achievements." However, the First Lady made it clear that the team's journey is far from over, stating that your journey does not end here. It's just the beginning of an even greater adventure. Ordering the Super Falcons to continue raising the bar, Tinubu called on the team to make Nigeria proud and bring home the gold as they prepare to compete at the